My child, I interrupted your day because there's something happening in your life right now that you can't see with your natural eyes, but it's so significant that I had to speak to you directly. What you're about to discover will completely change how you view every closed door, every unanswered prayer, and every delay you've experienced. 3 days ago, something shifted in the heavenly realm concerning your life. The Father looked at your situation and said, "Enough." Not enough as in punishment, but enough as in, it's time. Time for the enemy's assignment against you to be terminated. Time for the blessing that's been held up to be released. Time for the breakthrough that's been delayed to manifest. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange stirring in your spirit? That unexplainable hope rising up even when your circumstances haven't changed? That sudden peace in the middle of chaos? That's not your imagination. That's the sound of chains breaking in the spiritual realm. That's the sound of prison doors opening. That's the sound of heaven moving on your behalf. But I need you to understand something critical. What's about to happen in your life isn't random timing. It's not coincidence. It's not luck. It's divine strategy. For months, maybe even years, I've been positioning people, orchestrating events, and preparing circumstances for this exact moment when everything aligns for your favor. That person who hurt you, they were actually being used to strengthen your character for what's coming. That job you lost, I was protecting you from settling for less than my best. That relationship that ended, I was making room for the divine connections that will help carry you into your destiny. That financial crisis you went through, I was teaching you to depend on me as your source so you won't be moved when abundance comes. Nothing, and I mean nothing, has been wasted. Every tear has had purpose. Every struggle has built strength. Every setback has been a setup for a comeback so powerful that people will know it could only be God. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, there are angels receiving new assignments concerning your life. There are demons being commanded to cease their operations against you. There are people being prepared to be placed in your path who will help open doors you've been standing before for years. There are resources being released from unexpected sources that will fund the dreams I placed in your heart. But here's what I need you to know. The enemy has been fighting you so hard not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous to his kingdom. He's been attacking your mind not because you're unstable, but because he knows the power of the thoughts I want to think through you. He's been coming against your family not because you're cursed, but because he sees the blessing that's about to be released through your bloodline. You are not a victim of spiritual warfare. You are a target of victory. There's a difference. Victims are powerless. Targets are powerful enough to be worth attacking. And the intensity of the attack has been directly proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough that's coming. The reason you haven't seen the manifestation yet isn't because I've been ignoring your prayers. It's because I've been preparing a blessing so big, so complete, so overwhelming that I had to make sure every part of your life was ready to receive it without being destroyed by it. Some blessings require preparation. Some miracles require maturation. Some breakthroughs require that you first break free from old mindsets, old habits, old relationships, and old versions of yourself that couldn't handle what I want to give you. But the preparation season is ending. The testing season is concluding. The waiting season is about to transform into the receiving season. And what you're about to receive will make up for every day of delay, every moment of pain, every season of struggle. However, there's something you need to understand about how this breakthrough is going to unfold. It's not going to happen the way you planned it. It's not going to look like what you expected. It's not going to come through the people you thought would help you. It's going to be bigger, better, and more beautiful than anything you could have orchestrated on your own. I'm about to demonstrate my power in your life in a way that will silence every critic, amaze every supporter, and give hope to every person who has ever felt forgotten by heaven. I'm about to move in ways that will make your story a legend of faith for generations to come. But before I can fully release what I have for you, there's one more thing you need to understand about the spiritual laws that govern breakthrough. There's one more principle you need to grasp about how my kingdom operates in the earth. And when you understand this principle, you'll realize why the timing had to be exactly as it has been. The enemy has been trying to convince you that my delays mean denial. But what I'm about to show you will prove that my delays have actually been divine strategy. Every day you've waited has been a day I've been working behind the scenes, setting up a miracle so perfect, so complete, so undeniably supernatural that when it manifests, no one will be able to give credit to anything or anyone except me. You're about to discover that I haven't just been preparing your blessing, I've been preparing you for your blessing. And the person you've become through this process is exactly the person who can receive what I'm about to give without losing your soul, your humility, or your dependency on me. But there's still one more thing you need to know about what's required to fully step into what I have for you. What's required to fully step into what I have for you is something most believers never learn: the art of divine timing. You see, there's a difference between God's time and God's timing. God's time is chronological. It's about when things happen. But God's timing is spiritual. It's about when things align. Right now, in this very moment, there's an alignment happening between your readiness and my release, between your capacity and my blessing, between your surrender and my sovereignty. This alignment only happens once in a lifetime, and missing it means waiting for another cycle of preparation. But you're not going to miss it. Do you know how I know? Because you're here, listening to my voice, in the exact moment I orchestrated for you to hear these words. This isn't coincidence. This is divine appointment. This isn't random. This is destiny intersecting with time. For months, I've been moving pieces on the chessboard of your life. That unexpected phone call you received? That was me. That random conversation that gave you new perspective? That was me. That opportunity that seemed too good to be true? That was me testing whether you'd recognize my voice in disguise. I've been speaking to you through dreams, through signs, through other people, through circumstances, through that still small voice in your spirit. But today, I'm speaking to you directly, clearly, unmistakably, so there will be no doubt about what's happening in your life. Here's what most people don't understand about my blessings. They don't come to reward your perfection. They come to demonstrate my perfection. They don't arrive because you've earned them. They arrive because I've chosen you. They don't manifest because you're finally good enough. They manifest because my grace has always been sufficient. This is why religious people struggle to receive from me. They're trying to qualify for what I've already freely given. They're trying to earn what can only be received as a gift. They're trying to deserve what was purchased by my blood, not their behavior. But you're about to learn a secret that will unlock every door the enemy has tried to keep closed. The secret of receiving as a son, not as a slave. Slaves work for approval. Sons rest in acceptance. Slaves labor for love. Sons live from love. Slaves perform for position. Sons operate from position. When you truly understand that you are my beloved child, that my love for you isn't based on your performance, that my plans for you aren't contingent on your perfection, that's when every limitation falls off. That's when every lie loses its power. That's when every attack becomes ineffective. The enemy's greatest weapon against you has been convincing you that you're still trying to get into my family instead of knowing you're already in it. He's made you think you're still earning my love instead of enjoying it. He's tricked you into believing you're still proving your worth instead of knowing your value. But I'm about to shatter every false identity you've carried. I'm about to break every lie you've believed about yourself. I'm about to demolish every limitation you've accepted as truth. Because the person I created you to be is nothing like the person the world has told you that you are. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not your current circumstances. You are not other people's opinions of you. You are not your failures, your fears, or your frustrations. You are my masterpiece, created for good works that I prepared in advance for you to walk in. And those good works? They're not religious activities. They're not church duties. They're not spiritual performances. They're the unique expression of my heart through your personality, your gifts, your experiences, and your calling. They're the specific way I want to bless the world through your life. This is why your journey has been so unique. This is why your path hasn't looked like anyone else's. This is why the lessons you've learned have been so specific to you. I haven't been preparing you to be like everyone else. I've been preparing you to be irreplaceably you. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. You're still positioning yourself as lacking what you need. When you fight from victory, you're positioning yourself as already having what was purchased for you at the cross. When you fight for breakthrough, you're admitting defeat. When you fight from breakthrough, you're enforcing victory. Every battle you face has already been won. Every mountain you're looking at has already been moved. Every chain that's tried to bind you has already been broken. The question isn't whether victory is available. The question is whether you'll take your position in the victory that's already yours. This is why I told you to be strong and courageous, not because the battle is uncertain, but because the victory is certain. This is why I said, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Not because the enemy is weak, but because I am stronger. This is why I declared that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not because weapons won't be formed, but because I've already disarmed them. But here's what religion has taught you backwards. It's taught you that you need to overcome to become an overcomer. But I'm telling you that you are already an overcomer, which is why you can overcome. It's taught you that you need to get victory to become victorious. But I'm declaring that you are already victorious, which is why victory manifests through your life. Your identity determines your activity. Your position determines your power. Your standing determines your strength. When you know who you are in me, what you do flows naturally from who you are. When you understand your position in my kingdom, accessing my power becomes as natural as breathing. This is the kingdom principle that changes everything. In my kingdom, you don't work to become. You work because you are. You don't serve to earn love. You serve because you are loved. You don't obey to gain acceptance. You obey because you are accepted. You don't perform to prove your worth. You perform because your worth is already established. And this principle is about to revolutionize not just how you see yourself, but how you see every situation you're facing. That financial crisis? You're not fighting to become prosperous. You're already blessed, and you're about to see that blessing manifest. That health issue? You're not fighting to get healed. You're already whole by my stripes, and you're about to experience that wholeness in your body. That broken relationship? You're not fighting to become loved. You're already cherished, and you're about to attract relationships that reflect your true value. But this shift in perspective requires something radical. It requires you to stop agreeing with circumstances that contradict what I've already declared over your life. It requires you to stop partnering with thoughts that deny what I've already established as truth. It requires you to stop speaking words that reinforce what you're seeing instead of declaring what I'm saying. Every time you say, I can't, you're disagreeing with, I can do all things through Christ. Every time you say, I don't have enough, you're contradicting, my God supplies all my needs. Every time you say, it's impossible, you're denying that all things are possible to him who believes. Your words aren't just describing your reality, they're creating your reality. Your thoughts aren't just reflecting your circumstances, they're directing your circumstances. Your beliefs aren't just responding to what's happening, they're determining what happens next. This is why the enemy fights so hard for your mind, your mouth, and your heart. He knows that if he can control what you think, what you speak, and what you believe, he can control what you experience. But if you align your thoughts with my thoughts, your words with my words, and your beliefs with my truth, then what you experience will align with what I've already prepared for you. And what I've prepared for you is beyond your wildest imagination. While you've been looking at lack, I've been preparing abundance. While you've been seeing sickness, I've been arranging healing. While you've been experiencing loneliness, I've been positioning relationships. While you've been walking through darkness, I've been preparing light. But here's the part that will blow your mind. What I've prepared isn't just for some future moment. It's available right now. The abundance, the healing, the relationships, the breakthrough. It's all here in this moment, waiting for you to take your rightful position and receive what's already yours. The prodigal son didn't become a son when he returned home. He was always a son, even in the pig pen. The moment he remembered his identity and decided to return to his position, everything that belonged to him became available to him again. The inheritance was never taken away. He had just walked away from accessing it. You've been living in the far country of wrong thinking, wrong speaking, wrong believing. But today, right now, you're remembering who you are. You're remembering your position. You're remembering what belongs to you as my child. And the moment you step back into that identity, everything I've prepared for you becomes immediately accessible. The warehouse of heaven with your name on it isn't locked. You just haven't been operating with the right key. And that key isn't good behavior, perfect performance, or religious activity. That key is simply knowing who you are in me and positioning yourself accordingly. But as you prepare to step into this new level of identity and authority, as you get ready to access what's always been yours, as you position yourself to receive what I've prepared, there's one final thing you must understand about the responsibility that comes with this revelation. When you truly understand who you are in me, when you fully grasp what's available to you through my finished work, when you completely comprehend the authority and power that flows through your identity as my child, you become responsible not just for your own breakthrough, but for modeling breakthrough for others. And what I'm about to ask you to do with this revelation will determine not just your future, but the future of everyone whose life you'll touch. What I'm about to ask you to do with this revelation will reshape not only your destiny, but the destiny of your generation. I'm not just calling you to receive breakthrough. I'm commissioning you to become a breakthrough carrier. I'm not just inviting you to experience miracles. I'm appointing you to be a miracle worker. I'm not just offering you victory. I'm enlisting you as a victory announcer. You see, the revelation you've just received wasn't given to you for your benefit alone. It was downloaded into your spirit because there are people connected to your life who will only believe it's possible when they see it's possible through you. There are individuals in your sphere of influence who will only discover their identity when they witness you walking in yours. Your breakthrough is their permission slip. Your miracle is their proof that heaven is still open. Your victory is their evidence that battles can still be won. Your transformation is their guarantee that change is still possible. But here's what most people miss about being chosen for this level of responsibility. It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about being willing to figure it out in public. It's not about never falling. It's about showing others how to get back up. The world doesn't need another perfect person. The world needs another person who knows they're perfectly loved despite their imperfections. The world doesn't need another person with all the answers. The world needs another person who knows where to find the answers. The world doesn't need another superhuman. The world needs another human who's connected to the supernatural. And that's exactly what you are. You're not chosen because you're flawless. You're chosen because you're faithful. You're not selected because you're the strongest. You're selected because you know the source of all strength. You're not appointed because you're the wisest. You're appointed because you're willing to receive wisdom. Every person who will be touched by your life, every individual who will be changed by your story, every soul who will be saved through your testimony, they're all counting on you stepping into who I've created you to be. Not the perfect version of you, but the authentic, surrendered, spirit-filled version of you. This means your healing isn't just about your health. It's about every person who needs to see that healing is still available. Your financial breakthrough isn't just about your bills. It's about demonstrating that I'm still Jehovah Jireh. Your restored relationships aren't just about your happiness. They're about proving that reconciliation is still possible. Every victory you win creates a pathway for others to win. Every mountain you move shows others that mountains can be moved. Every giant you defeat encourages others to face their giants. Every prison you break out of gives others hope that freedom is possible. But with this calling comes a choice. You can choose to shrink back into anonymity, to play small, to hide your light under a bushel. Or you can choose to shine, to step up, to let your light illuminate the darkness that others are walking through. The easy path is to keep your breakthrough to yourself, to enjoy your miracle in private, to celebrate your victory in silence. The courageous path is to let your life become a billboard of my goodness, a testimony of my faithfulness, a demonstration of my power. And I'm not asking you to be something you're not. I'm asking you to be everything you are. I'm not calling you to perform. I'm calling you to be authentic. I'm not requesting perfection.